Fox News alert: ISIS now taking credit for a stabbing attack at a mall in Minnesota.
The suspect in St. Cloud was born in Somalia. There's his picture right there on the left-hand side of your screen. Moved to the United States 15 years ago as a child. Police say he's 22 years old, or was 22. He was shouting Allah and asking his victims if they were Muslim. So is the Somali refugee crisis now a terror crisis?
Fox News contributor, U.S. Army veteran Pete Hegseth lives in Minnesota and has been looking into this and has done stories on this before. He joins us. Sadly, Pete, this does not surprise you.
No, it doesn't. I was in St. Cloud actually on Saturday, familiar with that community. And if you live in Minnesota, you're familiar with the Somali Muslim population that has grown here, refugees who came here in light of the civil war there. Minnesota's a very welcoming place. The problem is that a lot of those communities have not assimilated the way we would want them to. In Rochester, in Minneapolis, in St. Cloud, there's an incubation, there's some radical mosques, there's some radical teachings, and as we've seen from U.S. Attorney Lugar, he pointed out very clearly, there is a terrorist recruitment problem in Minnesota, and much of the Somali Muslim population is in denial about it. This kid came as a refugee, came as a kid. You can't vet a kid for extremism. Right. The problem is the ideology looks to be ISIS-inspired at the very least, as they call him, a soldier of the caliphate. So this is a terror problem in Minnesota, and our leaders are nowhere to be found on it.
Well, you know, you're not the only one who has made these observations. You know, the governor of the great state of Minnesota, Mark Dayton, has heard that before. But, you know, he had this to say a few months ago regarding trouble there. Listen.
This is St. Cloud. Everybody who's here has a right to be here as much as anybody else. And if you can't accept that, then find another state.
Okay, so what's your message to him?
The message to Mark Dayton is, if you can't control this problem, we need a new governor. The reality is the citizens of Minnesota should have the ability to make sure their families are safe, their schools are safe, their streets and malls are safe, and that if people are here, they have an allegiance to our state and to our country. It's just like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Angela Merkel, who want to open up the borders and say, anyone come in. It doesn't really matter if you learn English or if you invest in our culture or if you become a fabric of our community. There's a very real problem here in Minnesota with that assimilation. Both sides can do more with it, but the reality is we need more from the Somali Muslim population calling out the radicals and saying, you need to get out. And then leaders here saying, we've got a problem, we're going to confront it. Right. But a lot of voters, they don't get a say on where the refugees go.
Right.
You want to be tolerant and welcoming. You also don't want to get stabbed on a Saturday afternoon.
That's right.
And we're one of 8 people that did.
All right. Also, thank you, Pete.